Most social media platforms have a content lifespan of approximately 24 to 48 hours, meaning that from the moment in which you post something, you essentially have that time span before your content becomes, well, irrelevant. The people that didn't see your content due to an algorithm are left without seeing it, with the exception that, well, your content went viral. Examples of social medias that act like this would be Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And funny enough, the higher the number of people who follow you is, the lower the percentage of people that follow you see your content. That also works vice versa. The lower the number of people who follow you is, the higher the percentage of people that follow you see your content. That also depends obviously on how the content algorithm is set up, and it also varies from platform to platform. According to CopyPress, the average lifespan of content on Instagram is approximately 48 hours give or take. On Facebook, it's about 5 hours, and believe it or not, on Twitter, since it's always posting content left and right, it's only about 18 minutes. There are, however, a few other platforms where content behaves a little differently, such as LinkedIn and TikTok, where content can last even up to a month, maybe even 2. And to prove this, last month I posted this TikTok, which up until today has 750,000 views, and it's gaining 15,000 views per day and somewhere between 2,000 to 3,000 likes. Ideally, we would want all those platforms to behave the same way as LinkedIn and TikTok do, but since that's obviously not the case, the best thing that we can do is just try to adapt our strategy to those content platforms' algorithms to try to maintain our relevancy. And that's precisely the content creation mindset that all creatives should have. Whenever you're creating a particular piece of content, you want to try to extend it as long as you possibly can, quite literally fighting against the content algorithm. You can do this in one of two ways. You could either post on platforms that have a naturally extended lifespan, such as LinkedIn and TikTok, but by doing that, you start to ignore Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and so on. Or you can choose my favorite strategy, which is the strategy that I recommend to you, and it's to create secondary content to complement your original big posts. And this comes with a lot of benefits. For example, let's say that you did a photo shoot with one of your friends who happens to be a model, and you took an awesome picture talking about an absolute bop, and you know that that's the picture that you're going to use for Instagram. Well, from that moment on, you should seek to create secondary content to complement that big post or your main post. And secondary content can actually manifest itself in different ways. For example, blooper shots. Bloopers actually show a very real and human side to content, which allows the person that's consuming it to feel a lot more connected to it. Another example would be behind the scenes. In a world where perfection is super overvalued, it's kind of awesome to show the people that are watching your content that not everything is just click and go. And another thing that you could do is do an interview with the model. They say your picture's worth 1,000 words, but let's just ignore that for now and get the model talking. Not only does this extend the relevancy of your post by having people constantly go back into the original one, but it actually keeps your followers engaged, which leads to my second benefit, and that's that it allows you to have more time to create your next big piece of content. And that's exactly something us content creators need more than anything. Time, which allows us to prepare and create content we know our followers deserve. And as a content creator, you know more than anybody how long it takes to create even one piece of content. And after producing it, you obviously post it, receive some engagement on social media, your blog post, or wherever it is you're posting on, then it eventually dies out and it's back to the drawing board to hit your next content deadline. Content creators can spend days, even weeks curating content because we want to produce the best that we can. And in fact, to create this video, it's taken me 4 days to write the script, a day to record it, and an entire day to edit it. But what happens the moment that you miss a deadline? Well, your content gets delayed, and if you have a posting schedule, your followers are going to be wondering where your next big piece of content is. Now, missing a deadline once or twice isn't necessarily detrimental, but the moment that you start missing deadlines consistently, well, that becomes the problem. Having the time to curate and create your next big piece of content actually goes hand in hand with posting consistency, and the next benefit, which is no analytics tanking, goes hand in hand with posting consistency, subsequently relating to time benefits. As a consumer behavior analyst, I'm always looking at the analytics section of every social media because it's always a sweet aha moment whenever you're able to detect the root cause of something. And if you're like me, you can make sure that your analytics are always showing accurate information by maintaining posting consistency, which, if it isn't obvious enough already, is super important for strategic decisions. Now, this video isn't necessarily on posting consistency, but it is one, if not the biggest influence on growth through content creation. 100% of your relevancy on social media depends on how consistent you are when you're posting content. The awesome thing about the content creation mindset is that it also works in reverse. Let's say you have a great piece of content that you want to tease to those who follow you. You can actually start posting the complementary content before you even shoot out the big one. What this does is it builds hype around your content, maintaining it relevant for a lot longer than 24 to 48 hours. Then when it finally drops, people are talking about it for a lot longer than that time frame. Companies that do this exceptionally well would be production companies. They have their next big post, which would be the movie, then they start teasing it, then they put out the trailers, then they put the movie, and finally, they post the behind the scenes. Now, if you're struggling to find content for your next big idea, you can actually check out this video that I posted last week on the 6 tools to find an unlimited source of content creation, which you can find right here. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me as I answer 100% of the comments that I receive. I hope you like this new setup. I like it a lot more. It feels a lot more relaxed. If you found any value in this video, please consider liking and subscribing as it helps small YouTube channels such as myself continue to produce this content. Thank you for watching. I hope you all stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.